I really wasn't sure what you would have in mind when it came to whatever your idea was of having a place to study. But I guess this will do. So something like this actually not that distracting for you? Well, I wouldn't doubt someone gets used to it and think I start seeing it as relaxing. But I don't think I've ever, no, I've never been in I've never been in one of these before, so I wouldn't know how it's like spending time in one of these. I'll give you that much. It's rather comfortable looking. Some of your tastes are something, I guess. Anyway, the main thing is that I decided to show because we had to work on something. But at least, and here I am hoping that the person I was partnered with isn't utterly useless. Because it's one thing to be doing the whole thing solo, and even worse when someone doesn't know what they're doing, tries to chime in. Yeah, I guess just take me to the spot where we're gonna start working on this thing. Okay, yeah, this can work. Unfortunately, we don't need anything physical. All we need is do it online. But I suppose we haven't really thought about how we would start it. I guess we could fall on that. Well, we can make the topic on just about anything, just as long as there's some relation to the class. Oh, I mean, this is why we're doing it at this point, right? We're not. Yeah, fortunately, we both can see that we might as well just get this thing out of the way as soon as possible instead of being deadbeats and waiting for at the very last moment and to come out with a very rushed, poorly done project. Because the thing is, from what I heard for that class is sometimes it might just be shown as a project, but then at the deadline or last minute it's announced that now everyone has to suddenly do a presentation on it. So we kind of have to prepare for that in a sense, just in case these guys pulled out a huge psych and we end up having to do that and have no clue how to talk about it or present it. And I would really like to avoid having that happen, because that would be really, first of all, really embarrassing. No, I will give you that. There's actually quite a lot that can be done here. I'm not gonna bother with asking how much it was for you, or even how much work was done with it. I don't know, this is like more impressive to me than what than how it's like for me just like looking through a house. Anyway, yeah, first you have to think about what the topic will be. That is true. Because the professor did offer to hand out random ones if there were groups that couldn't think of anything. But I'm thinking maybe we should try to sift through some of our own ideas first before actually trying to ask for a random one. Because I think it'd be a lot easier if it was on something that we actually would have at least some care about, or like some interest in it at least. Because I don't want to have to go after one that's either one-sided, where only one person is interested, even worse to have where neither is interested. Because yeah, part of it is just then gonna end up being a chore anyway, but why not find a way to alleviate that as much as we can, right? I still want to try on this, even though I'm not sure how good I'll be for figuring out how to put it all together. Yeah, right. I mean, I really don't mind if we just spend the time just trying to find something to focus the topic on. Could I say maybe have it be something that is something that's relatively simple enough to grasp, and something that someone that can have at least some level of understanding to it, but just really haven't thought to dig deeper, that kind of thing. Okay, yeah, so the main idea was, yeah, so the main idea behind the whole thing was trying to dig into things that people don't really think about that they do on a daily basis, right? And then maybe and to see what kind of effects it has on us, even if we normally don't think about it. Because at the same time, there's a lot of things that we could focus on, or have that focused on, but at the same time, I can't seem to pinpoint one exactly. I mean, unless there's already one just buried in your head of what you would think would be interesting enough to tackle. And this is something that's going to take us well, if we actually stay consistent with it, maybe a week at most. And that would be the most optimal time to where then we can have the rest of more or less the rest of the month, it just kind of, just do whatever. But the thing is, we will have to freshen up on it. Maybe another week prior, just to make sure, like I mentioned with the whole presentation thing, just in case anything like that were to suddenly happen. But I would much likely prefer that we get ready for that, instead of just presuming that it won't ever happen. But, well, if it's something interesting enough, then it'll be quite useful enough for us to just know anyway, right? just looking through here. Or things that we could just list through. Normal everyday things. Well, I guess maybe have something food related. What about that? No? Because I have some, I think that's of some interest, but I don't really know all too much, to be honest. Let's see here. Furniture? What about that? Yeah, okay. Didn't think so. Exercise? No, I'd pass on that. No thanks. And I'm pretty sure someone else is gonna cover that one. Okay, last thing I would want is crossing topics with another group. No, that won't be very interesting. I think hygiene is an interesting one. You know, yeah, I'll add that one. But it's like a general sense, or is there something more specific you're referring to? Yeah, I think general would probably be the better way to go, even if it might be a bit more effort to cover it. Yeah, I'm actually cool with this one. This one I am liking. Actually, you know, one I had on my mind was the usage of phones, but I think I might have something more promising. Because what about driving? Right? Well, I'm used to it, and then surely you are too, with your van, or what's it technically called? A camping van? Oh, okay. So there are different ones. So the camping vans are the much smaller ones, but this one's more of a trailer home? Oh, I see. Well, I'm thinking of this one because, well, how many of us just kind of, we just do it, but we don't really think about it. Maybe if we were like annoyed just by the idea of having to, get up and drive and sit through traffic for a while. But on that, just something that we've grown to just accept how it is, right? We don't really question it. But then I wonder in what direction can we take this? Can it be, say, how driving affects us normally, how things could be better or worse, that kind of thing. You know, say for example, what if we didn't have to drive, or what if the driving experience was different ways to better the driving experience. I think that could be lead for an interesting directions for the topic. That's a good one. How many accidents too? Or how many people die because of that? Right, because that's not something we would think about until it just happens to us, right? Or at least someone we know. Yeah, I like that one. I mean, like, yeah, that one, and then the one before that. How much we value these things too. Yeah, or how our lifestyles can change and adapt when it comes to revolving around vehicles. Yeah, I think we should really go for this one actually, because we can have multiple notes about this, and not only for the good things, but the bad ones too. Do you agree with this one? I want to make sure you're fully on with this. But yeah, no, I'll just put the notes down. So then, actually, I'm not sure exactly how you would go on about this, unless you like to say physically write it out, or maybe, or say physically map it out. Because if you don't mind, then I can just do it all here digitally and then have it shared with you and everything. Yeah, okay. So, how should we start this off first? Because I think it'd be better if we had a sort of structure to first kind of lead or open into it, and then find ways to essentially stitch these things together. Right, so is it just random pieces of information just being flung at you? Instead, there's more structure. Right. So then it's more organically connects to one another. So suppose we can first start. I suppose we can first start with, I guess, what they mean for people and families and all that for getting around. And that people don't really think about it and all that. That's like, I guess you could say it's part of our culture, right? Yeah, so then we can add on, exist here is our own culture here with cars, where part of that is just really growing up with it, right? First having your parents or your family taking you around, to then eventually not only driving but also owning your own car and all that. Right, and then more onto what it means to people. Or to them, they see it as like a sense of freedom, that they can just up and go wherever they want, with whoever they want to. Right, and then you have your more focused car cultures when it comes down to, say, casual drivers for more custom drivers, and then the more sporty professional stuff too. Yeah, I think with that it'll yeah, of course I'm just putting these down as just more bullet points, and then later we can start to flesh it out once we actually basically know everything down in the order we want. Yeah. Yeah, so first there's that. Actually, I think we should put down... I should make sure to jot down all the important ones. And then we can add, say, little subsections to it. Yeah. Right, so it's just part of our life, part of the culture. Oh yeah, I didn't think about that one actually. With how prevalent it is around us, it also affects how it also affects the places where we live at. Because we need space for these things too, right? So that, how about adding the cost of just owning these, right? What it takes to have one of these. I think that will also go together with that. Maybe that could be added as an infrastructure kind of thing. That's not really our focus. It's more just the car itself. I guess we'll see how far that section gets. I'm definitely a lot more interested in seeing, just say, how cars impact us in the more direct or instantaneous kind of way, or spontaneous kind of way. Right, say, just daily commuting, how much time we spent getting around when we have to, say like for work or for school and all that. Also, right, when it comes down to, say, more maintenance side of things, the cost of that, how much for gas and all that. And then lastly, for when accidents start happening, that too. Yeah, I guess you can also put on the whole process of driving too. I suppose that counts for a spot to be added into as well. Okay. No, yeah, I'm really liking this, how this is looking so far. Yeah, I'm not expecting the first day to just all of a sudden we have this whole draft going. I just wanted to make sure to at the very least reach a point where we settle on a topic and expand on that enough to where we can start having enough structure to just work on it from there. Right, and then through there just figure out how exactly we're gonna like tackle this thing. If we just wanted to do the whole thing together, or maybe give each other our own subset of things to do. to multitask any sort of way. You're talking about having a break? I don't know, I think we're okay is continuing. Where would that be? Do you have like a certain break room place or something? Maybe it'll be useful just to put it down for a while and yeah, I guess you never know. Maybe if we just pause on this for a bit and come back later, maybe we can get more specifics when it comes to what's been listed already. Because I want to have it be not only negatives but the positives too, you know. Because this is meant to be more just a sort of making this sort of daily life occurrence to be more apparent for people, or to anyone that ends up, you know, listening to us talk about it, if that's what happens. I have a feeling it will, but I guess since we're doing this, I feel like it might as well try going for it as if it were to be going in that direction. Okay. Yeah, we'll just come back in a few minutes. We'll try not to take too long. This is this is a camper, right? So how many rooms does it exactly fit? Because I kind of am interested in trying how it'd be like to maybe try sleeping in something like this. I know, yeah, I think we should just get going now. It's actually quite insane you have this kind of view from the van. I mean, from the outside, it just looks like a mashup of like numerous ones. Unless that's what it literally is. Alright, because there's no way that you would just be able to do it all on your own. So then what, you had like a team of friends or something, or had it professionally done? Yeah, I can't imagine all the work that's been done for it. Well, I mean, I guess from what I see, it's sure seems very worth it. Yeah, I mean, at first I haven't really thought much about them. You know, even seeing them in public or on the road, just kind of, you know, my mind will kind of wander to who needs such a thing, right? Even the small, what do you call it? The camper vans? Yeah. Yeah, but I think after this, I'm starting to see the appeal of it. I guess, yeah, well, I wouldn't really mind if you really wanted to add that into into the project. About how vehicles can also be mobile homes. Oh, don't really worry about it. We can figure out some way to add it in there. Maybe as a closer, I suppose. But it's definitely would say one of the better things that vehicles can do. Because it's sure no surprise that people make homes even out of a simple car. But then to having it be within a van or, yeah, something like this more or less. Yeah, because you can't forget about the trailer homes thing too. Actually, I think we really should add that. Because for some, that's literally their only option. Now everyone can just find a house or an apartment that can accommodate them the way they want. The cost for one thing. And the specific demands of what the office there mandates. Yeah, because you can have some places that say, for example, may not allow like pets or specific kinds of dogs. But yeah, I'm actually really feeling this, the outcome of this topic. I kind of don't care if anyone decides to do the same thing or something similar. You just have to do better than theirs, right? Because you might as well make a show of it and see how much you actually care about it. Because, for me, daily life, it doesn't really... There might not be much to it, but... You literally couldn't live without my car, right? As with yours, well, I guess it's more of a kind of lifestyle thing. Well, in a literal sense. But you still have a home, right? Right, with your family. But I'm guessing with this you wanted more your own space. Looks like with all the money put into this, you could literally gotten your own home. But having something much more something mobile is having something mobile, I see, is quite the appeal. You ever worry about, like, say, maintenance on this thing? Not really, huh? Fair enough. You don't exactly just do this kind of thing without realizing what you'd get into and how much you'd have to manage on your own. Yeah, no, for me, all I just have is a normal car. As for which one? Oh, it's what's it called? Like a Speed 3? I don't know. Well, it wasn't one that I picked up for myself. It was one that was actually kind of passed down to me. Yeah, I had a sibling of mine. They had it and they bought themselves another, yeah, it was like another of the same brand. Or the same manufacturer, I mean. They decided just to keep me the previous one. And, well, so far it's been pretty good. I've been making sure to keep up with it at least. And make sure that it continues looking alright. But yeah, I don't know about having a, well, not even a home like this, but even a smaller van. I don't know. Could be interesting if I was a lot more involved with going outside. Oh yeah, I do prefer being inside, but I'm not exactly a, like a full-on shut-in. I still like to go out and all that. I like have reasons to go out and just do stuff, even if it's just, I don't know, just stopping by somewhere with a friend or something, or going out to eat. But I mean, there's only so many times you can do it before you kind of just start just bleeding through whatever money you got. Because going out is just becoming more and more expensive. Yeah, that is true. We just been looking for different ways to just hang out without really having to actually go out somewhere. But when we do have the money for it, then yeah, it's something that I do look forward to do. I don't know about inviting them over. I mean, none of them really know you. Again, I only got to know you is because we got paired up for this thing. And well, the times we had to interact during that class, and yeah, more or less that's it. Yeah, I'd have to do like an actual full-on introduction before. I mean, I guess unless they really didn't care and just wanted to check it out without any other questions. Actually, maybe they will, since I guess we already know each other a decent amount. Now that I think about it, you don't really tell anyone about it, do you? Although I can understand not wanting to get the attention from a bunch of other people. You just want to show up and check it out. 'Cause I'm sure that this thing will actually get quite a bit of attention just by driving it around. Oh, whenever you're the one driving it. Yeah, I fear that was someone you knew. Guess that works out. You can just hang out back here while they do driving because they really like it. Lucky you. I'm surprised that there's no bike to be seen though. Yeah, maybe you could have like a little storage for. Yeah, I mean like a bicycle. Yeah, not a full-on bike. Maybe you could, unless that would be too heavy to be carried inside. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I see I'm kind of seeing it now with how soothing this can be. I bet you find yourself in this spot a lot, right? It's a really good view, actually. Oh, I did see the bedroom right under here. Also a really good view. Yeah, let's make sure I don't forget. Yeah, so yeah, we can add your own dedicated section with your knowledge on this stuff. And I think with that we can basically start up with the drafts. Yeah, I'd say it was a good idea to take a little small break. There would be a chance that we wouldn't have touched on this and added another part to it. Yeah, I don't mind putting together the draft, and you can read over it and have your own edits and point out some things that may not be too clear. Right, because I'm pretty sure I'm a lot better at writing things out than you. I mean, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, that's how it makes sense doing it that way, right? We do the parts that we know we're good at, and then just have the other one just essentially go over it and check off any things that might need to be altered or changed. Yeah, I'll have to definitely start looking for sources as well to begin with. Maybe a combination of websites, pages, maybe books too. And see if there's a good video about it as well. Yeah, right, multiple. I'm not looking to just take a bunch of info just from a single source. It'd be better if we found from numerous pools of information rather than just from just a single one or a single person. Could be better to avoid any potential biases that way. And then if there is, then looking through different sources, then we'll be able to identify it. Yeah, as of our own. Yeah, I agree. That's a good spot for now. Yeah, if you could show me one of the rooms, I would really like that. Just take a nap and then get started on the papers. Work on that and get started on the initial opening draft. Yeah, if you're thinking of staying awake, then if you could, then looking for sources would be a good start. Then I can look through them or look into the sources and see which ones don't end up being just rubbish. Okay. I guess I'll see you in a few hours. Right. Oh no, it's fine. No one's gonna be really expecting me home in quite a while. I already told everyone. Everyone else that I share my space with where I'll be. Yeah, no, they won't really. Yeah, because we just message each other like what we're doing and where we'll go and what we're doing. That kind of thing, just to let one another know. Okay. I think I'll be here for a little bit longer before deciding to lay down.